She walks in loud like a thunderstorm, debunking myths with style and form. True crime, conspiracies her game. Melissa Jade, remember her name. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Microphone fierce like a roaring lion, unveiling secrets people been hiding. True crime queen of the digital scene, Melissa's got you hooked on her screen. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. From murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. 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 She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody? Hey, 2112 guy, Shay, Benet, Tess, Jules, Amy J, all day. Thank you, Hope. It's 7:44 here in Louisiana. How are you an hour and 2 minutes ahead of me? That's my biggest question, though. I understand the hour, Hope, but the 2 minutes, how is it 8:42 here and 7:44 there? Hi, Brandy. But thank you so much, Hope, but for real. Or did you account for maybe the 2 minutes it would take to type out the message, send the super like I need to know? Inquiring minds would like to know. Hi, Diet Pepsi. Not a new topic, actually. Very, very, I don't want to say old topic, but a topic we have gone as deep as possible in on this channel, but just kind of going back before we finish out our trial recap for anyone who isn't familiar. Hi, Emily. Lorena Chezzy. I was just thinking about you earlier, Chezzy. Hi, Amy, Terry, Ann, Neat Noodle, Scott. Yeah, that's what it was. Maybe her clock's 2 minutes fast. Hi, Barbara, Sunday Doodles, Michelle L, Molly Henry. Wait, did I thank? I'm not sure. Hold on. I forgot. Welcome, Nurse Kristen. Thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, she's a lunatic. So I figured, hey, Shacto. I figured, yeah, it's 8:43 now, Michelle L. in New York. Hey, CB. Hi, Rockabit. How are you, Rockabit? Hi, Diana in Germany. Wait, Diana, I didn't know you were in Germany. Yes, Josie, in a good way. Hi, Jonesy. Hi, Shannon. Forever. Hi, Shargamol. Tia. Poor Linda. K-Wags. Poor Linda, did you hear me the other live when I said when I tried to email you back, it keeps responding with like an error. It's not going through. I did try to respond to your last email multiple times, but it's not going through. Hi, Melissa B. But I didn't realize you were in, Vivian Land. I didn't realize you were in Vivian Land. Hi, Forgets and Shiggles, Mystical Poncho, Aaron. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you so much, hun. Hi, Desiree. Liz R. Nancy, call me at Fall Grape. Hello, hello. Okay. So it's a little bit later. It's my late night. But I wanted to come on and I want to continue with our Tisha stuff. But I feel like, again, I'm like, all right, where do I even begin? I really don't know where to begin for topics like Tisha. But one of the main things you would absolutely need to know if you don't go all the way back is the night Gannon went missing. Okay. Thank you, 2112. 2112 guy gifted a membership. Please make sure you thank him if you were lucky enough to get that. Thank you, darling. Okay. Hi, Becky P. Hi, Boy Mom. Let me start with our missing child before I even get into all that. So, our missing child. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Kathy Joe. Our missing child for tonight's live stream, we have 2. Okay, let me pull this off the screen. Hi, Bree. Hi, Pinche. I know, Shay. And that's a Spencer Wilson interview, and we'll get to that. So that was a moment a lot of people realize she's guilty. So we're going to start a little bit before that, though. This is Christopher Gage Daniel and Chloe Leverett. They were 7 and 9 when they were last seen at 6:30 p.m. on September 21st, 2012 at their home. Later that night, around 9:30 p.m., the house caught fire and burned. Despite law enforcement finding the other occupants of the home, Christopher and Chloe have never been found. Today, Christopher is 19 and Chloe is 21. So they have their age progressed photos. This is what they looked like at the time that the fire happened. Hey, Nav. This is the time. Hey, come at me. Oh, 44. Hi, Shazzy. We've missed you. So, I know, Hope. I know, Jewel. Like, hey, Mallory. This is what can you just like imagine those circumstances? Like, what? There was a fire. The other occupants, their family members, they're found. Their 2 children gone. So weird, K-Wags. Hi, Allie B. Hi, Kat. Danny. So it doesn't say the area. It doesn't say where. Well, then I'll just say, if you or anyone you know has information on their whereabouts, please log on to the NCMEC website and contact them. Yeah. That's a good question, Nikki. Hi, MT. It is heartbreaking. All right. So I'm not sure what state this is. Let me click on them. Actually, that's a good idea. Let me click on them. Okay, here we go. Unionville, Tennessee. So if you or anyone you know has information on their whereabouts, please contact the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, 1-800-824-3463. There it is. I didn't realize their names were clickable. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Shay just sent me an article. Wow. Siblings still missing 11 years after Bedford County house fire. So more than a decade after the then 9-year-old Chloe and 7-year-old Christopher Gage disappeared from a Bedford County house fire, their mother is hopeful they are still alive. Chloe and Gage were living with their grandparents, Molly and Leon Bubba, when their home caught on fire. The children were initially believed to have died in the blaze with their grandparents, but investigators never found any signs they were inside the home. Officials confirmed both the McLarens, their pet dog, and their pet bird died in the fire when they discovered their remains. However, they never found Chloe and Gage's remains, which experts said would be virtually impossible had they died in the fire too. Investigators never determined the cause of the fire, but the mother, Cheryl, believes it was set on purpose and the children were kidnapped. She knows in her heart her children are still alive, comparing the past 11 years without them to a nightmare. There's no word to describe how you feel because you go through so many different emotions, but it all comes down to nothing but pure, hellish heartache. It feels more like 1,100 years. It seems like the longer they're gone, the worse it is. Cheryl often wonders where Chloe and Gage are now and what they look like at ages 20 and 18, but she promises to never stop searching until she brings them home. This isn't about me, it's about finding them, Cheryl said. It's all about them, and I just want people to know that to please keep looking for them because I know somebody knows something and they're out there somewhere. So again, this is their age progressed photos. Here's Chloe at the time that she vanished. So the age progressed photo. And Gage. Christopher, aka Gage. How disturbing, man. The Sauter children, that one is, sorry, I get excited anytime like someone mentions a case that I'm really into. The Sauter family is a very bizarre case, but that one, Shay, at least we know someone was there. That guy was there. You know what I mean? Like, and he stayed there. There's nothing. Hi, Allie. And thank you, Michaela, for becoming a member. The Sauter family is a very interesting unsolved case, guys. Okay, so for this live, I figured, and I'm trying, because I know majority of the people who have already been subscribed to my channel, we have done Letecia up, down, left, right, sideways. But there are a lot of new people, and it's impossible to go through everything, but I'd like to kind of bring you guys at least kind of caught up to speed so you understand what we're doing moving forward. So what my plan is to do, if you're interested in the Letecia stuff, tonight I'm going to go through the body cam footage of when Letecia first reports Gannon missing. From here, we're going to look at everything that transpired after. There's the Spencer Wilson interview. And yes, we're going to do the pretext calls again, because no matter how many times I listen to it, I'm sorry, I always learn something new. It's disturbing, yet very fascinating on a psychological level to me. And you have to. And then we'll continue to go through her case files and her jail files. Okay, Wolfie. And so what am I looking at, Wolfie? On a deep level, Allie, right? Hi, Lace Lamons. Oh, I hope that you have better heartburn. Like, no, I hope you have no heartburn, but it's so nice seeing you. I absolutely will, Carrie Beth. They're so peculiar, Sunday Doodles, so strange. So we need to start at this night. I feel like this is a good starting point. So at this point, and I struggle if I should tell you what we knew publicly or if I should just tell you what we now know to be the case. I feel like I should just tell you what we now know to be the case so it doesn't get too confusing. January 27th, 2020. A call goes into 911 and reports the non-emergency line, to report Gannon Stauch missing. Letecia, his stepmom, claims that he left to go play with a friend and never returned. He was supposed to return by 6, never came home. Gannon stayed home from school that day because his stomach hurt. Gannon was born premature. He came into this world fighting because he was born very premature. He had a lot of complications, and something that went along with that is stomach issues. So it wasn't so far out of the realm of possibility that Gannon was struggling with something with his stomach and stayed home from school. But the official narrative was he stayed home from school. It was a Monday. Then he went to go play with a friend, and he never returned home. And so we're calling it into the non-emergency line. Bio dad, is out on business. He's in the military. And thank you, Nav. That's incredibly kind and generous. Please make sure you thank Nav if you got a membership. Thank you so much. And it's lovely seeing you. I can't wait to see the trailer, Nav. No, we didn't finish it, Holly. That's why I'm catching up to speed before we finish. I know exactly where we last left off. I remember exactly. And I didn't want to just finish it because I feel like there's an influx of new people. So I'm trying to catch everybody up to then finish it, if that makes sense. And he left the world fighting. That's correct, Cosmo. And it's lovely seeing you. So what we now know to be true and what happened, and you do need this context when we're about to watch his body cam footage. What truly happened is Letecia, this was a blended family. You had Letecia, stepmom, and Al, bio dad to Gannon. Gannon had a younger sister. He actually had 2 younger sisters, but only one living with them. The other half sister lived with mom, Lena. And Letecia had a daughter, Harley, 17. Blended family. Letecia is someone who does absolutely insane things for attention. It's just in her nature. She has a long history of it prior to these murders. I can't tell you, because this is something we debate very much on this channel with this coverage. Why? We don't have an answer of why exactly she did this, but we can make guesses. And the best conclusion we could come to is the marriage wasn't active. It was falling apart because Letecia has staged many break-ins. She has staged sexual assaults affecting Al's job. She does not want to work, cannot hold down a job, yet at the same time does not want to take care of these children. She resented Gannon at 11 and Lena 7 or 8. Was Lena 8? Because she hates their mom. And she hates anyone that takes attention from her. Even though she was besties with bio mom. And then took her man, Al. Okay, so there's a lot of history there. What we now know with things that have come out, Al and Letecia got into another fight. Al had to leave on business. Letecia was sending him emails, and yes, emails. If you ask, hey, why emails? Because this is how toxic a relationship they had, where I guess maybe Al would block her. Letecia would come in on email and start sending emails. And she sent an email, and I could read those, that eerily foreshadowed what was to come, which essentially said, one day soon, you're going to regret this. We know that they went for a hike on Sunday, the 26th. There's photos, evidence of it. Then on the evening of the 26th, there's going to be a video recorded, and I'm debating if I should play it or not, but it's the last time we ever actually hear Gannon alive. And it's Letecia recording, and Gannon is crying. Letecia took photos of this alleged candle incident that took place that she claims Gannon tried to light a candle, knocked it over. It got all over the carpet. We're going to see all of this, so just bear with me. And Gannon is crying and apologizing, saying he's bleeding. You can't see him because it's dark, but you hear him. And Letecia's like, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to sell. Are we going to sell the couch? You know, like, I don't want your dad to freak out. Like, I don't want the lady to kick us out of this rental. Gannon said he's bleeding on that video. We don't know what he's bleeding from. What we do know now is Gannon did not knock over any candle. There's a lot of dark theories that we could sit here all day and speculate. Did she hit him with the candle? Did she try to light the house on fire with Gannon in it and it didn't go correct? We don't know. That leads us into Monday, the 27th, January 2020. Around 8 a.m., Letecia takes photos of Gannon in his bed. I will show you. And texts Al that, you know, Gannon isn't feeling well. I think he should stay home from school. Gannon does not look good in these photos. And thank you, Jack. Jack gifted memberships. Lovely seeing you. Please make sure you thank Jack if you got those. Everything I'm saying, please understand, I'm going to show you guys. I'm just trying to give you context before I show you this body cam footage, though. She sends Al, because again, Al's away on business, these photos of Gannon in his bed. Gannon is not conscious. She's claiming he's sleeping, but he's not. He does not look good. He does not look good. So he stays home from school. Okay? And the next thing we know, hey, after school, Gannon left to go play with a friend. Now his stomach issue's all better. And he never came home. Letecia calls Al. Hey, I don't know where Gannon is. Al's like, well, you got to call the police. That is where we are starting right now. I will tell you and fill the gaps in for you as we go. But I have to tell you what we now know. She brutally murdered Gannon. She stabbed him. Blunt force trauma. And shot him. She then took his little body and stuffed it into a suitcase. She very quickly, because we're dealing with a very tiny, short timeline here, cleaned up all of the blood spatter that was all around this room. He fought. Let me be clear. This was not a quick death by any means. His injuries started Saturday, but Monday would ultimately be when his life was taken. She stuffed his body into a suitcase, and she put that suitcase with his body in the storage room. That is when she texts Al and says, Gannon never came home. He says, call the cops. So she did. We're about to watch. So just please be aware. We're about to watch the body cam footage of officers arriving at the house looking for a missing child. A child that may be still out with their friends. There was no serious cause of concern at this point. He just didn't come back when he was supposed to come back. But Gannon's body is in this house. So as we're going through this body cam footage, we're going to focus on one officer's body cam footage because there's multiple officers. This officer is going to come within inches of Gannon. I completely understand, Diana. I completely understand. And other Letecia lives you may be interested in where we're not focusing so much, but this is absolutely the crime. And so please definitely leave if it's too much. So you're going to see this officer come within inches of Gannon's body, yet having 11, Lorena, having no idea he's there. And this officer did a very good job searching the house up and down. But at this point, he's searching for a kid who could be hiding. They have no idea that a crime occurred. They had no idea that they were looking for a body. They were looking for an 11-year-old who may be hiding somewhere in the house. What I want you to pay attention to is Letecia. Letecia Stauch, at this point, just brutally murdered her stepson. Within 30 minutes, her stepdaughter arrives home. And then shortly after that, her 17-year-old daughter arrives home. And she has managed to clean up all this blood. Letecia. Not that I could compare 2112 guy. The loss of a child's life is the loss of a life. But Letecia, because I don't know how to say it with it coming out right, but the loss of a life is a loss of a life. Both are just as meaningful as the other. But who do I think is evil? Letecia. And thank you, Homer, for 7 months. Hello. So she managed to clean up the blood spatter, play it off with the kids around, and have his body in a suitcase sitting in this house when officers are going to arrive. And she's able to, I don't want to say play it cool, but can you imagine committing a murder, having the body in the house, and then having all these officers come into the house and you're talking to them and they're searching your house, every nook and cranny, knowing at any given moment what they are going to find. That is what makes this body cam footage even eerier, okay? And you need to see it, not just because it's so crucial to the storyline and how events happened, but because you need to see it and focus on Letecia Stauch and how someone is capable of doing this. All within hours, this brutal murder occurred. He is sitting in a suitcase in the storage room, and there's numerous cops, and they're searching every nook and cranny, any moment. You know, her heart must have been any moment what they were going to find, and they didn't. They didn't, and that's not the fault of the officers. The officer, as you will see, did a great job. They didn't know what crime was committed. They were just looking for a child where it's an hour past when he was supposed to come home at curfew. Could he be hiding? Not for a body. They were not looking for a body. Yes, but please understand where Gannon is in this body cam footage. He is in this house. He is in a suitcase. He is in the storage room. And we're going to see an officer literally be inches from him. And you just want to scream through the body cam, like, just move that box. Like, he's right there. And if he was found, all of the events after would have been completely different. But it's the events after that are really mind-blowing on a different level. Yes, Andrea. So that's what we're focusing on tonight. It's not incredibly long. It's like 20-something minutes, but with my commentary, you guys know it gets a bit longer. But this is where we're going to start. And then after tonight, I'm going to take you guys on a fucking long, crazy ride of pretext calls, text messages, interviews, everything that's going to make you go, no way this happened. Like, no fucking, yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it's going to be the craziest ride you've ever gone on, honestly. That's the only way I could put it. Thank you, Lori. Wow, 31 months. Holy moly. Thank you so much, Lori. One, it's amazing seeing you, but 31 months, that's incredible. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's that's what makes Letecia Stauch, and that's kind of like circling back around 2112 guy. That's what makes Letecia Stauch stand out. It's not so much, hey, Kaylee and Gannon, it both loss of a life, right? A child's life. But the actions done after, like, it's a different kind of evil. It's a different kind of evil. And I've never seen anything like it in my life, ever. Good evening, Ash. Oh, we've gone through all of it before, Alicia, but I'm starting over now for anybody who wasn't here prior. Oh, Ash, buckle up, baby. Buckle up. And if you guys have questions, just ask, because again, a lot of us here are Letecia experts. That's a way I could put it, because we've gone over all of this a million times. So it kind of makes it harder to explain everything, because there's an overload of information we have in our heads. And so if you have a question, just ask, please, because it'll help guide me on, all right, like, I need to explain this, or I need to explain this. But as far as I understand, I told you pretty much everything you need to know going into watching this body cam. Hi, Lizzie. Okay, so let me pull this up. Hey, Little Red. Okay, so again, this is January 27th, 2020. This is the same day Gannon was murdered. Claimed that he, again, stayed home from school, but then he went to go hang out with a friend around like 3:30, was supposed to be back by 6, is not back home. She called Al in a different state for work. Gannon didn't come back home. He was supposed to be home by 6. Where did he go? Out with friends. Well, call the emergency line. So she did, and now they're arriving. As far as they know, just a boy who went out with friends and hasn't returned home yet. No need for an alarm, but we're focusing on Letecia and the fact that Gannon's body is sitting in this house right here, and she just committed a horrific murder. Horrific. He was stabbed 17 times, 2 acts of blunt force trauma, or 4. Oh my God, it may have been 4. And he was shot through the jaw. It was it was overkill. Overkill. And his room, as you'll eventually see, it was filled with blood spatter everywhere. But she did manage to clean it very quickly. And so all of this just happened hours before this. Hours. So please keep that in mind. So here we go.
I took the covers that he was laying down, like head, and
That is Letecia Stauch's voice. She has a very, very unique voice. You will not be able to forget it. But I promise I won't pause this much, but I just want you to keep in mind, there's cops all up in her house. You're going to hear her talking fast. You're going to hear her nervous. Again, the adrenaline of just committing a horrific murder, but his body is here. There is still blood that they did not find because they weren't looking for blood. But when they went in for the second look, there was blood, like that on the doorknob, on the light switch, on this. When they peeled back the carpet underneath Gannon's bed, the size of a dinner plate. But she knows this isn't just one cop she could keep distracted. All of these cops. And they're searching in different rooms. So I want you to pay attention to Letecia's voice and what she's saying and how she's nervous and how she'll actually end up following the officer, depending on, his body would be downstairs in the storage room, which is next to his bedroom. So you'll see how you'll hear her getting more and more nervous as this officer makes his way closer and closer to not only the crime scene, but also the room that Gannon's body is being hidden in. And thank you so much, Lori. Lori gifted 5 memberships. Please make sure you thank her. Thank you so much. All right. So, yeah, turning off the, and I'm going to point that out. I don't want to confuse everyone because I know I'm saying a lot, but I'm going to point all of that out as we see it happening.
I took the covers that he was laying down, like had, and I just like threw it on there because I got my daughter out and the dog's out. She was working, and it was something.
Yeah, everybody now.
I know. It was something that we were just like.
Did he take his bike?
No.
Okay, because somebody saw a little kid on a bike. They posted it, but I didn't know if he brought it.
Well, he did, unless he took it sooner and brought it back because Lena ends up getting the bike.
Okay.
They didn't miss anything, actually. Like, yes, they missed the blood, Stacy, but let me be clear. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it, okay? The officers lurked. The officers looked thoroughly. Do you know how many calls officers get every day for a child missing that just is running late or wanted to stay at their friend's house longer or hiding? You're going to see this officer really did thoroughly look because they weren't looking for a body. They weren't looking for a crime. They were looking for an 11-year-old child that went out with friends, didn't return back yet, maybe hiding in the house, but no serious concern for alarm. And she did a really good job. Not a really good job as far as cleaning up all the evidence, because like I said, when they went back in and actually looked, yes, it was there. But as far as what the time frame we are talking about, she cleaned all this up very quickly and enough to where nobody noticed anything from afar. Okay. Yeah.
And rides the bike because hers had broke. When she ran into him, I say ran into him as in not physically,
Right.
but she somehow got his bike because hers wouldn't work. So he could have at
So
one
they were
point.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were supposed to go
What
pick him
color
up
is the
for
bike?
dinner.
Blue
And he
and
never
black.
went home. They thought he was at his
Black.
friend's house. He was like,
Yeah.
he just started sleeping. So
We
they
got
were gonna
we
go
have
pick
him
up
on
down the road.
one on one.
And he was never there.
There's
And he never
one
went to his
picture
friend's
someone
house.
said he was on
Okay.
and he was taking the switch.
Do you mind if my
So
partner
it's-
looks around the house real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
Because kids, they hide. And
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
They can hide for hours.
Yeah, no, we've already checked the camp, like the
Is there any other kids here?
ADT,
There's a-
yeah, there's kids here. I say kids.
There's my sister and 2 dogs.
Yeah, no, he's definitely he was out there because they left and blah blah blah.
So, just tell me a timeline. I know you said that y'all were gonna go get at 6.
Yeah, so it
You're
was.
supposed to be come back here, but you went out there. What happened between that?
Okay, so he 3:15 coming every day. They have to something, like physical activity. Something certain that he can go ahead and do this. So pretty much he gets snapped. He always required him hey, you have to go outside. Like all these things. So
Pretty accurate. Okay.
Yeah.
So, he did that. He
Linda.
didn't do that because you said his stomach was hurting. What happened instead of doing that?
I said no. He said he had already talked to my husband about being on prescription. So he said he was going to his friend's house to play video games.
And what time did he left?
So listen to her in the back, because even though she is answering this one officer's, no, I can't move the pink label. Even though she is talking to this one officer, she is very much paying attention to all of the other officers searching the house. Again, brutal murder happened downstairs. Good night, Wolfie. So not only are you going to be concerned about that being seen, but also his body is downstairs. So you could hear how distracted she's becoming knowing that they're searching, but it's not until they go downstairs. Downstairs is where everything occurred. But again, this is just them searching. As far as they know, he's not even here, but they're just looking in case an 11-year-old could be hiding. Not a body, just hiding. Well, they didn't need to turn on the lights to go through the closet. You know what I mean?
I don't know the exact time because I was correcting his carpet cleaning downstairs.
Okay. So he.
And he's free. Like my husband's like very more free than I am with the situation. I kind of always like, who's actually going to give me that number? That's how I was with her. But like he's like, oh, I'm so ride. They can ride bikes, everyone's together type thing. So yeah. So he all the time they go and ride and he plays. That's how we
Yes,
do.
Terry Ann. So this is Al and Letecia's bedroom. This is their bathroom. Okay, so he's just searching. Hey, Dad. No. Now she cleaned. It was, Lisa.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was wrong. I think did I bring my thing in here?
Okay.
This might be in
Lena's room. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the laundry room.
there.
Now there's actually blood that's going to be tracked all the way through here, but not yet the next morning when she moved his body. But we're not there yet, so I'm not trying to confuse everyone. We'll kind of go in chronological order. So he's looking at the vehicle. Is he in there?
I think it might be in my car.
Okay, Jesse's tiny.
Sir, I think it might be in my car. So whenever you're
What might be in your car?
he wants my ID.
Oh, okay. Was this the car you guys had with you today?
Do what?
Was this the car you guys had with you today?
What do you mean with me today?
I mean, did you drive this car today?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't drive that car today.
You did
This
not
car
drive
has
this
been
car.
today.
Okay.
See, she's nervous. Is this the vehicle you had with you today? What do you mean to have it with me today? Is this the vehicle you used? Yes. No, it's not. It's not. But she is, the best way I could explain it, Letecia, like you will not be able to keep up with her lies. And I know that's probably why I get overwhelmed too with like, oh my God, I don't know how to explain all of this, but I'm going to try to do my best. This woman lies more than I've ever seen in my entire life. Like ever. So every little thing you hear, even like that, it's because she's overcompensating for a shit crazy rabbit hole we're about to fall down, okay? Like crazy rabbit hole of lies. And thank you, Crime All the Time, for gifting that membership. Please make sure you thank Crime All the Time if you got that. Oh, I do too, Harley, but please trust and believe that's not what's happening here. Oh, 100% Journey. We're going to get into all of it. I'm going to show you guys. This is not the first instance. She had staged things like this in the past for attention, okay?
Has he ever hidden in anything like this before?
No, this is no.
The murder happened in his bedroom, Luann. I will tell you when we get there. And then he was in the storage room at this time in the suitcase. You are curious, Christine, but you'll be fine. I was giving like an introduction, so you're good, babe. So none of this, like right now, none of these rooms are relevant yet. They will be tomorrow when she moves the body, but not yet. There's nothing too much to point out.
I think it might be, I'm sorry, it might be in the center console.
Exactly, Natasha.
Oh, okay. That's all, like, might be.
Oh, just wait, Danny.
Alright, so.
Toby. Yeah, but they can't, Michelle. And Michelle says that they wish that they could utilize dogs for missing children. They can't. First of all, not all dogs are dogs that just track scent. Every dog is trained in, like cadaver dogs, like this. They are overwhelmed with the amount of calls, and 90%-ish of calls of missing children end up coming, home, like they wandered off or they're staying out with their friends too late. Like, so I'm saying for them to do this thorough of a search and this many cops, I don't think this was a failure for police at this point. I really don't. And this officer right here, this body cam footage we're watching, this officer is going to come so close to Gannon's body and have no idea. And I can't imagine what he has to live with, knowing that if he had just moved one box, as you're going to see shortly, he would have discovered Gannon instead of the months that would have went by, and Gannon would have ended up over an overpass in Florida. This is Colorado.
Yeah.
Letecia did, Debly. She was the only adult home with him. Now, here we are. Here we are. This is now where I need you guys to pay very close attention. This is when everything is relevant, but this is where we're going to focus on. This is now the officer is going to go downstairs. What's downstairs? Downstairs is a common area, like a living room type of deal. Harley's bedroom. Harley is Letecia's sole biological child, 17 years old. Gannon's bedroom, the storage room, a closet, and a bathroom. Down here is where the murder occurred. Down here is where Gannon's body is currently being stored. Down here is also where that candle incident I told you happened the night before. And we're going to even see that. We're going to see Letecia point that out with her guilty conscience to officers. So everything now is focused on going down these stairs. And listen to Letecia, because you're going to hear that shift. You're going to hear her starting to panic, because while she has to maintain this conversation and answer these questions to the officers, she is, because there is an officer downstairs going thoroughly through each room, and she knows all that blood she just cleaned up in Gannon's room, and that body, his body, that baby boy is sitting there in a suitcase. At any moment can be found. Any moment. Thank you, MK. MK gifted 5 memberships. Please make sure you thank MK if you got. Show him some love and appreciation. Thank you so much. Sure, Swedish House. Welcome. I've never felt so passionately about a killer. Like it's not personal, obviously, but like I feel those emotions towards Letecia. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, I'm sorry, Harlot. So here, and I'm going to jump back a second, meaning he's about to go downstairs. He's at the top of the staircase right now, and go downstairs. So downstairs to the bottom floor. And you're going to hear him ask, is there anybody down here? So this is where the shift is going to happen.
Initial or name for out of state.
Is there anybody down here?
Is the other dog? Yeah, that just says no one.
No one.
I mean, no one is down there.
Okay.
It's my maiden name, so it's hard. HAR.
This is that common area. That's the room to the storage room. Okay, so here's that common area. Straight ahead, this is just a closet, but straight ahead near those couches is where something very bad happened before the murders, the night before the murders. We, to this day, don't know exactly what happened. You will hear Letecia explain it in a minute, but it's not what happened. And we're always going to be haunted, and we're always going to be trying to figure out what happened, because all we know is that we have photos of a candle with a bunch of wax knocked over on the floor that was hiding blood. So my point is, Gannon was having injuries inflicted by Letecia starting Saturday. Then Sunday, the candle incident. Some of us speculate whatever injury she caused to Gannon was so sufficient that she ended up turning around and taking his life. Some speculate the candle was trying to start a house fire, but Gannon woke up. We don't know what exactly happened, and we'll dive deeper into that, but you're going to focus on this candle also, this candle incident and this burn on the rug. Oh, it's not Patreon, Mallory. You do belong to a tier here for the channel. Me neither, Lace Lamons. She absolutely hated Gannon, Nicole, because she hated his mom, and he was a mama's boy. And she's just a nasty, sick individual. Yes, and she drugged him. So here we have Harley's bedroom, her 17-year-old daughter. Okay. Hi, Sprinkle Donut. Yeah, call it off. They're for both, but you're green here, which is not Patreon.
Female second spelling, Sam Everhide, or Everhide spelling,
Okay, here we go. Straight ahead. This door right here is the door to the storage room. Gannon's body is behind that door in a suitcase. The storage room shares a wall with Gannon's bedroom, which he's about to enter. Gannon's bedroom is where the murder itself, yes, Alicia, is where the murder itself took place. Eventually, when they go on with Blue Star Luminol 11 Debley, the wall is covered with blood spatter. The blood is soaked down to the cement underneath his bed. But as you'll see, you really won't see it to the naked eye unless you like zoomed up real close and like was really looking, but they weren't looking for blood or anything like that. So this is how close, and I'm a big person on energy. And you're going to see this officer get down on his hands and knees. And we do know that at least 2 of the acts, meaning gunshot, blunt force trauma, or stabbing, occurred when Gannon was on the floor. And this just happened hours before this. Hours. And part of me wonders if this officer felt any residual energy, because I can't imagine it not being there so quickly after the crime. But straight ahead is where Gannon's body is. So again, while you're watching, try to listen for Letecia. Try to listen for her. Here we are, the storage room. Gannon's body is stuffed in a suitcase to the right of this officer under all of those boxes right there. He's sitting right there. Right there. Did he feel energy here? What was he looking at? Could he feel that there was something wrong? He did flip on the lights. Are you guys mistaking? I'm sorry. Are you guys mistaking the black circle for the lights being off? The black circle is the camera to the body cam footage, so it's always going to be a circle. The lights are on. It's just a circle camera view, if that makes sense.
Can we try Edward, Tom, Edward, Jones? I don't know.
So he's getting into detail, looking for a child, an alive child, right? You guys, he's inches from Gannon. Inches from Gannon right now. That suitcase is under that, right there, right underneath all those boxes. His body is sitting there. Sorry, but it's just, if he moved one other box, he may have saw something. He put his body in there and threw all those boxes on it. Letecia's upstairs. At any moment, this cop can find it. Can you imagine what she's doing? This is Gannon's room. This is where the act itself happened. That wall right there, this back corner right here. You're going to see it as we go more into this case. Blood was spattered everywhere, in every direction. Gannon had 2 beds in his room. You'll see that one with the American flag and the one to the right. Underneath that one with that American flag blanket, underneath there is a pool of blood soaked down to the cement. And everything I'm just throwing out there and saying to you guys, there is photos, there are videos, there's evidence, and we're going to show it all. So it's not just me saying it. I will show you guys this. But remember earlier when I said Letecia took 2 photos of Gannon sleeping around 8 a.m. Monday morning and sent it to Al and said, you know, he's going to stay home. His stomach hurts. The photos were of Gannon in this bed. Yet the sheets, the blanket, and the pillow with the pillowcase isn't the same as you'll see it right here. Things that, you know, as a little time went on, you realize when Letecia sent the photos of Gannon this morning, the same day, he had a navy blue shark blanket and pillow, like shark sheets. So that bed is stripped. A whole pillow is missing. Different sheets. And you could tell that's just like a throw blanket from like the couch, not a comforter. She stuffed that in the suitcase with Gannon. It was all rolled up with his body in a suitcase. But that whole back wall was filled. So she did manage to, like, when you see the blue star and see how it illuminates, you're going to say, how the hell did she clean it that quickly? She did. Okay. And thank you, Sophie. Welcome. Well, she did Swedish House, but she, again, when I show you guys the timeline, you're going to realize, like, she had no time. She had to move very fast. It wasn't that big, Jonesy. I will show it to you guys. I will show everything. But it wasn't as big as you imagine, okay? But she did put him in before rigor set in.
Otherwise, it'd be 101275370 South Carolina.
What kind of flight? Ocean View Boy 385.
Yeah, it's larger than a carry-on. Hey, Space. Does he feel any energy? Happened right here, right where he is standing. Hours ago. I really would love to know, did you feel anything? Because I don't believe an act like that can happen. And then you walk in, you can feel when people are even talking about you. You know what I mean? The energy shifted and you walk into a room and you get that feeling. Were you guys just talking about me type of deal? There's no way a horrific murder like that occurred, his body to be sitting in that next room, and this officer didn't at least feel something. I believe it to my core. Look at him. This is exactly where Gannon laid. And then you're going to see, look who comes and makes her way downstairs. Okay? Yeah, Shag.
He wasn't in here with this. Wait, that stuff is down there, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I show him about?
Oh, what's that? I need you to know, I need you to pay attention to a couple of things. So Letecia, this entire time upstairs, you know she is freaking out with this guy just willy-nilly going through all the rooms searching. His body is down there. The crime occurred down there. So Letecia says, sir, yeah, can I come down there and show you something? All right, sure. So she's going to come down and show him that spot I talked to you guys about, this candle incident, this thing that happened the night before, which when you're looking at it in retrospect, there's no reason that she even needs to show him this, but it's the guilty conscience. Something happened with this candle incident. We still don't know what, but something bad happened. But what I want you to observe right now, look straight ahead. Again, that room, that is the storage room. His body is in there. The door is open. The light is on. Pay attention to that, because Letecia on her own is going to shut that light and shut that door because she knows he's in there.
That stuff is down there, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I show him about this stuff? I just didn't want to step on the cutter, the box thing. I think I still had down there. Okay, because you weren't in here in the beginning, right? I thought I didn't know if I had that box cutter and all that stuff in there because I told him about he dropped the candle last night.
Oh, okay.
And I thought I must have picked it up. I was just making sure I didn't want you to be like, oh, just a box cutter. But yeah, I had to cut this. And I told.
So what she said is, I just want to make sure, because there's a box cutter down here. It's possible that a box cutter was used. Okay. But there's a box cutter down here, and I just want to make sure you don't step on it, because last night he knocked over a candle, and if you come over here and look, and I had to cut out this spot in the carpet. You see this carpet? It's cut out because it was burned because Gannon knocked it over. Something horrific happened with this candle incident. It plays a direct role in the murder. We don't have all the answers, but we'll get a little bit more into that later. I'll show you guys the photos. But she is bringing his attention because that is often what a liar or someone with guilty conscience will do. There's no reason he's going to just step on a box cutter, number one. But two, there's really no reason that you need to bring his attention to this. He just knocked over a candle the night before, right? Why do you need to show him the burn? But it's because it plays a much bigger role.
Just making sure I didn't want you to be like, oh, just a box cutter. But yeah, I had to cut this. And I told them I wasn't even going to tell Dad. And I was going to figure out a way to put this in there from the situation. But
At least you got a carpet. Yeah,
right. I just took it and like covered up with the carpet and stuff like that. But
Does he have any friends around here?
there is let me look on this thing. He did have this one like book thing.
That's where you're supposed to be at down the road.
But they checked that already?
They went over there and talked to him, and they're like, no, we hadn't seen him at all.
Okay.
He did have this like
And you talked to parents, right? You didn't talk to.
Yeah, Connor's mom came over, who is a friend he goes hangs out with all the time. So they come over.
What I'm pointing out is she goes into his room. She wants to see what did he do? Like, did he find anything? What does it look like? Notice that she's standing in kind of the doorway facing them. And I go a bit into body language with Letecia because there's a lot with body language. So what she's doing is she's taking control of this room. And what I say by that is she's basically using her body to block it off, right? And yes, she leaks a lot of information in her rambles, but she's standing there because she doesn't want them to come in, but also realize they're standing. This is the wall that is shared between the storage room and Gannon's bedroom. Both rooms, very significant. One is where the murder occurred. One is where Gannon's body is. She knows that. Look at where she's looking right now. She's looking at that wall, knowing he is behind this wall. Any moment they could find him. Any moment they could find him. Any moment they could find him. I'm busted, right? But she's standing here in a way where it's blocking them off. Now, they'll make their way a little bit into the room, but she's taking control with her body stance.
Who is a friend he goes hangs out with all the time. So they come over. The people here, the friends, they were just the ones that were the door with the bike.
Okay.
They came over. A bunch of people came over. Yeah. So
Any
he
friends?
did have like a little book that had names on it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it like anywhere specifically because like his wallet, he's not like I teach 5th grade and like, you got your like really, really mature kind of boys, but then waiting, he forgets.
Do you hear how much she's stumbling? Oh, because Debbie, we know everything about this case. That doesn't mean we have all the answers. There's answers that we're never going to get, kind of like Quentin Simon, right? We're never going to fully know what happened. But there is Letecia. This is just part 1 to a bunch of social media posts, emails, phone calls, interviews. Like when I say there is an abundant amount of information to this case, abundant. So we know that because trial already occurred. And as you're going to hear on all these pretext calls, Letecia herself, she lies with the most insane lies, but she leaks truths throughout it. And it was proven where he was, and data and ring camera and movement and things like that. But notice how she is stuttering. She is going crazy. And I need to say this to you guys. Letecia did not sleep. And when I say that, you're going to see it. I'm going to show it to you at least from this day until she was arrested March, because she was active 24/7 with texting, social media, calls. That doesn't mean that she didn't fall asleep for an hour here or there, but I'm talking about REM sleep. She did not sleep. So I'm going to assume that didn't start on this day. I'm going to assume it started at least a little bit prior. And the lack of sleep is more hardcore than any drug you could take. I stand by it. I believe she was on drugs, like prescribed, not necessarily to her, because Gannon got prescribed ADHD medication. It was not in his system at the time that he was murdered, but it was just filled days prior to his murder, and that bottle never was found.
So like bring this or bring that or bring this or bring that.
Still kidding.
Yeah.
So no clothes are missing or nothing?
No, we actually lay out all the clothes all the time. Like for, like every day at school, we lay out clothes, we do whatever.
Is his jacket gone?
He had he has several jackets. Like it depends on, I'm very like fashion. So like it.
You heard her. What'd she say? She said she's very like fashion. That's right. I'm very fashion. And thank you, Trio Girl Mom. A golden membership for a year, 1 year. And I'm so glad I found this lively channel. Thank you so much, Trio Girl Mom. She's so fashion. It sure is too, Dog Mom. So it's a very standard question. Was he wearing a jacket when he left? Yet here's Letecia's problem. He was still in pajamas. But she needs to give a false description of what he was last wearing, because he wouldn't go out in his pajamas to go visit a friend, right? So she stumbles because she needs to create Letecia. One thing about Letecia is she does not think ever of the next step. She is the type that lies on the spot, and where that lie is going to bring her next, it doesn't matter. She'll figure it out then. So she's making this all up in real time. Thank you, Stormy Skies. That means a lot to me. That really does. Thank you.
He has several jackets. Like it depends on, I'm very like fashion. So like it just depends on jackets. Like he might have this black one with this, or there's a blue one with this.
So he had a jacket.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Several jackets. Like when you see the kid has, like tons and tons of clothes, and he just,
Okay.
he has all that stuff. So. And he took like none of this. Like these are his favorites. All of these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna grab some more questions and.
Okay.
How long have you guys lived here?
Maybe like a year and something now. Yeah.
And you have talked to all of his friends' parents in the area?
I'm not the person that talks to the friends. I don't have numbers. I don't say yes. I don't say no. My husband tells him yes or no. So he has all the numbers.
So there could be some friends that you don't know.
Right. Because I don't know the people like that. And a lot of the time that I was here, I had a job on the East Coast.
Mhm.
So I had to fly back and forth for a lot. So I didn't really meet a lot of people, like my husband did. And he's like always wanting to be the one to talk to everybody about it. And so,
Well, how about your husband? Does he talk to these people?
yeah, he's been on the phone with a bunch of them. He's in Oklahoma, Fort Steele right now.
Is there anybody he hasn't been able to get a hold of?
No, he said he's talked to everyone that he knows of. The only concern we had is he was talking about the friend with the older sibling,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know who that one is. That's the one we don't know
Do you guys have a name for that?
because we don't know who that person is. We've never heard him say like specific name. And my husband said when he talked to him today that there was no like specific name for that. He didn't give him a name. He just told him no. So
And he took his game console bill.
yeah, they have a couple of different consoles.
And one of them's gone.
Switch Lite. They have a 2DS, a 3DS. One of them is gone. It was in like a bluish black. Wait, no, that one might be in red. I don't remember. I just know in the video you can see that, or the picture that the lady had, you can see like he's got something right here and it's like far down.
Which pictures?
So some lady online had noticed it, like messaged us and had noticed that was him or the description. And she was like, was that him? And I was like, yes.
What
Okay, so what she's talking about is already there's Facebook groups going, the Lorson Ranch Facebook groups. And right, hey, stepson went missing. Here's a description of him. Please be on the lookout. And obviously, people in the neighborhood are going to message and reach out and say, hey, I saw a kid on Ring camera around this time, and here's a still shot. It looks like he's wearing that, what you said Gannon was wearing. Remember that I told you she put out a false description of what he was last wearing. But what she would do, because she knows he's gone, is she would say, yes, that's him. Now, it wasn't him, but Letecia wanted there to be evidence that he was alive and somewhere else. Does that make sense? So anybody who would basically reach out about any possible sighting, she would refer to it as a confirmed sighting. So listen to her. She's saying, someone reached out and saw him on this, camera and asked, hey, this fits the description. Is this him? And I said, yes, this is him. It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
He online had noticed it, like messaged us and had noticed that was him or the description. And she was like, was that him? And I was like, yes.
Where was that picture taken?
I don't know. I honestly have about 150.
Oh, you don't know, right? You have a confirmed sighting of your missing stepchild, but where was it taken? Oh, I don't fucking know. Yeah, sure, Jan.
Facebook or the description, and she was like, was that him? And I was like, yes.
Where was that picture taken?
I don't know. I honestly have about 150 Facebook messages that I haven't answered people on because you guys showed.
Was it local? I mean, was it in this?
Yes,
Lorson Ranch?
in Lorson Ranch. Someone put it on the Lorson Ranch page, and so a lot of people just kept sending messages, information. First, someone said they saw him get in a white SUV. Then someone said they caught it on their camera. They were all supposed to be sending this to me, but as I was talking to all these people on Facebook, because my husband gave the neighbor permission to post it, you guys came and I kept having alerts lists, and I weren't gonna
Just look at this one's at the door.
Huh?
One's at the door.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I know you probably gave some of this information to dispatch already, but can you give us a description of him from top
Yeah,
to bottom?
so
Hair color, eye color, any other?
yeah, so brown, brown,
Okay, listen to her, okay? So can you give a description of your stepson, what he looks like, and what he was last wearing? Now, while she is being asked that, the other officer starts to walk away. Back in, look, that storage room door is open. Light is on. His body is in there. Listen to the poor ass description she gives, but also watch what she ends up doing.
But can you give us a description of him from top to
yeah,
bottom?
so
Hair color, eye color, any other?
yeah, so brown, very pale, like whitish color skin,
I guess he's at this house, but they don't.
Somewhere.
and then
And the parents may not know he's there.
and then
Well, they said
410.
there was a weird text that Dad got about.
Did you see what she just did? Did you see what she just did?
Somewhere.
And then
And the parents may not know he's there.
and then
Well, they said
410.
there was a weird text that Dad got.
She is so distracted and not able to give a damn description of him because she's more focused on let me get to that, let me make our way outside of this room where the murder occurred, and let me shut that light and that door where his body is. So again, just listen to how she's speaking and how she can't get this description out, and watch her make her way into this room, follow this officer, speaking so loud he can't even speak to his partner anymore, not give the description, shut this door, and get them away from these rooms.
So
Hair color, eye color, any other?
yeah, so brown, very pale, like whitish color skin,
I guess he's at this house, but they don't know.
Somewhere.
and then
And the parents may not know he's there.
and then
Well, they said
410.
there was a weird text that Dad got about something
90
about bath
pounds,
salts and hey,
hey, if you
And then I
if
sent
I
you that
can get some
picture
bath
that-
salts, do we have any bath salts? And my friend will let me play Sonic or something at their house.
You sent that to your dad?
Yeah, I got it. And then mom goes through everything, finds this Parker.
She said, brown, very brown hair, pale, whitish skin, shuts the storage room door, about 4'10", 90 pounds. It's a great description there, Tisha. Brown, very brown, pale. Look at that beautiful boy. Look at that beautiful boy on the screen. And Gannon, there was just something about him in all of the videos you'll see of him and photos. He had an old spirit. He was a very sensitive boy. Kind and respectful, by Letecia's own admission. Describe Gannon for us. Brown, very brown, pale, whitish skin. He had beautiful eyes. And yes, he had dark brown hair. But I also think this was a little bit of a leak, a little subliminal slip. Because you have to remember, the last image Letecia has of Gannon is not the same image we have of Gannon. And he would be very pale. And the photos I'm about to show you of the morning of the murder, before, he was very pale. And that was from whatever injuries he sustained the night before. And this is something that we see during her interrogation with Dr. Grusing, FBI agent Grusing, who we adore here on this channel. Those are slips. And you have to remember, she just horrifically murdered him hours ago. And the brain works in a very fascinating way. And so when they ask you, what does he look like? You can't help that your brain is going to flash the image of what you last saw, how you last saw Gannon. And so she's essentially fighting what her brain is saying and creating the lie. And so it's using two different portions of her brain at the same time. You have the portion that is recalling memory, and then you have the portion of your brain where you create a story, right? Using your imagination, creating that story. You cannot control, right? If someone says, don't think about an elephant, you think about the elephant. You can't control your brain as responding the way it responds. But she's trying to push that to the side and use a completely different area of her brain to create a narrative. But a lot of times there are slips. That is a slip. Gannon had, yes, of course, just like anyone who gets more pale during the winter, but you could see he had gorgeous skin. I would not describe him as pale. Like what?
House.
You sent that to your dad?
Yeah, I got it. And then mom goes through everything, finds This Parker.
Look at her shutting all the doors. She's trying to shut downstairs down. Oh, and Al was Bio Dad is in the military. It's usual for Bio Dad to leave for periods at a time. Bio Dad had just left Saturday. This was Monday. Letecia was not happy. Bio Dad left. I will show you the messages. I will show you everything. Like, so every question you have, I promise will get answered and you will be shown it. But she, again, has a history of doing something drastic and staging things to get Al home and for attention, including sexual assaults, risking Al's job, accusing his superiors of sexual assault, staging break-ins. There are police reports. I think this was another instance, but every time Al was onto her bullshit at this point. Good night, MK. And she had to do something drastic.
Yes.
No, we're still getting the runaway report right now.
Harley,
Yeah.
did you get it? Who was it?
I don't know.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Our
Okay.
teacher is moving and
I just didn't want any
There's
people,
nine.
neighbors popping in.
I know there's definitely viral, so things pop up on
Yeah. So he wanted it.
What clothes was you wearing?
Blue jacket, blue jeans.
And had a game console that he left with, so he's probably in his house right now playing games.
That's what me and my husband absolutely think, and we think
Blue jacket.
we absolutely think that, and we've calmed our stress level down after our 4-hour week over that.
Like a thick, heavy winter jacket, a sweatshirt, windbreaker.
No, like the ones I was showing you guys in there, kind of like a little windbreaker type.
Okay, good to know.
Is there anything distinguishing?
Perfect,
about
yeah.
him as you wear?
I'm mid, so I'll be on the line.
Yes, ATR.
No,
Okay, cool.
no, they asked me about tattoos and earrings and
It's
all
just,
that
Like
stuff.
I'm gonna
There was
end up,
nothing.
I'm gonna end
Okay,
up asking
perfect.
a whole lot of the same questions that dispatch asked.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you hear anything from the school, let us know, please. All right. Oh, bye. Just on broadcast.
Yeah, we already talked to a bunch of people at the school.
Yeah, they said head of security.
Because
so-
there was a game or something tonight, and so that was like one of the things we were thinking. If I guess they went to like the basketball game or something.
I know, Michelle, but I've seen you comment it, a few times, and there's nothing I can do. YouTube decides when they want to put the ads, and so I can't control it. But I highly suggest YouTube Premium if you can afford it. You have to remember YouTube is a free platform, and so just like anything, they put ads. YouTube Premium, though, is absolutely amazing, and you never have to deal with an ad. If you can afford it, or if you just don't want to pay for it, fine. But then the ads are just the ads, respectfully.
He said there was Parks and Rec going on, so.
Smith.
Yeah.
It was the off duty.
Okay.
He said somebody in the neighborhood or something.
Does he have a dentist he goes to?
If you guys want to call my husband,
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We'll
'Cause
follow up because he might have a little bit more
overwhelming me with these
information.
things,
Yeah.
and I don't do a lot of the.
Okay.
He does all that.
How long's he been over there stationed?
He's not. He's stationed here. He's just at Captain Career Course.
Okay.
So they go to a dentist. I think it's like Fountain Dentist, maybe.
All right.
Everything else is on base.
We'll give him a
'cause it's- Yeah.
What's his name?
Al, A-L, Stauch, S-T-A-U-C-H,
Phone number?
843-478-6714.
No.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Throw me back on 3.
They always increase the ads during December. Just to give you guys a heads up, December is always crazy ads, more so than usual, because it's Christmas. And they want to fill it up with ads to get you guys to buy things. You get it? You know what I mean? So it should chill out now that it's January. But it's on where YouTube gauges when to put an ad. And so what I noticed is if like I stop talking for a second, determines, hey, now's a good place for an ad, if that makes sense. So ads don't appear the same for everyone. You can get an ad 3 times. Another person can get an ad once in that same time period. It's different for everyone. Well, why did they need to call his name? They looked thoroughly. As you can see, they looked thoroughly throughout this whole house for him. And they weren't looking for a body. They were looking for an 11-year-old possibly hiding. But as far as they know, he left for a friend's house and didn't come back. And yeah, YouTube puts ads not on live streams, but for like after live streams done, even if monetization isn't turned on for the replay, they put the ads no matter what. Not during live streams, but after a live stream, they will. But yeah, premium is, once you go premium, you never go back.
I'm on 3.
They call it.
I'm thinking about
We'll
Tess
give him a call.
Okay.
Some more
just
information.
upping it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the
Whatever, I'll
medical,
talk about it
dental,
later.
you know, like he'll know like
Yeah.
all that stuff because he takes them all base.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll go give him a call in the car real quick and see if we can get any information. Then
Okay.
we go on and if not, we'll come back and or we'll give you a case number for
Okay.
the runaway and everything. Okay. All right. Thanks.
My dog's
Like I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to get too far off on the ads topic. It's not like, it's whether monetization is turned on. If for live streams, it's whether or not monetization is turned on for the live stream. Once a live stream is over, there will be ads whether or not the monetization is turned on or off. Now it can be more so if the person, like the creator, has it upped. But if a creator doesn't have monetization turned on during live streams, it won't hit during live streams. I didn't have my monetization on for over a year, so we never used to get hit with ads. But it all depends. But replay, there will always be ads even if it's not on. Yeah, she was very happy they're leaving, but watch this. Watch this, okay? So they're going to make their way upstairs. But tell me if you think this is unusual, okay? Yeah, Sharkable. Well, I don't pay for cable and stuff, so it is worth it for me. And I love YouTube. Yeah, I paid $20 for solo. But Natasha, we should just do family. Like you and Harley just do family and divide it up because it's like $5 more for 5 spaces. You know, it makes more sense. Oh, that's so funny, Emily. Right, Cosmo Premium. So watch what she does. That's what I'm saying. Eat a bag of Dees. It just makes more sense for like the $5 more. Watch them go. Watch her go upstairs. Watch her go upstairs. And watch them go upstairs. And watch when she shuts off the light. Because I swear, I think it's weird. You guys let me know if you think it's weird. You're welcome, Amy. Sorry, it got a little off with the ads there.
Runaway and everything. Okay. All right. Thanks.
my dog's down here now.
I didn't see him.
Okay.
So look, she cuts in front. Look. So she cut in front of this officer. Right, ATS. I was gonna say, unless you got a cheap plan, I don't know. I don't know it to be that cheap, but yeah, Cosmo, I agree. She cuts in front of the officer, but she shuts the light off. Excuse me, they're walking up these stairs in the pitch dark. Would you do that? Or would you kind of wait for them to walk up at least the first flight, then shut it yourself and walk up? Is that not weird? It's like she wanted to shut down downstairs immediately. Oh, thank you, Jasmine Nix, for the super sticker. Thank you so much, hun. And hey, 444. She cut right in front of him and then shut the light. So she's making them walk up in the pitch dark. Who does that?
All right. Thanks.
My dog's down here now, David.
I didn't see him.
Okay. You have gas and electricity.
They would become super together quickly.
5. Any choice in gathering any of those? It's like bad now.
Okay. Oh, how long before they found Gannon? So they knew something horrific occurred for numerous reasons. And again, if you follow the coverage that we're about to do, I'm going to show you exactly how it all how it all unfolded. But in a nutshell, just to verbally tell you, very quickly, they realized something's off. Letecia's story changed, and then changed, and then changed, and then changed, and changed, and changed. So immediately they knew something was wrong. That's when Al also, during one of his interviews, hey, something's not adding up. And they all start looking into this. So they go to the house again. And this time they actually do a real walkthrough. And it was during this walkthrough that they observe blood on the light switch. When you take off the outlet cover in Gannon's room filled with blood behind it. And they peeled back the carpet. And there is a pool of blood stained the size of a dinner plate. Then they went in and did the Blue Star, which is what they spray and the blood will illuminate. And his walls, and I'll show you, filled. Blood spatter in all different directions. Across state lines. So then the FBI and Al start to do a series of pretext calls. Pretext calls are planned calls where law enforcement is listening in and recording. And we're going to play those. On these calls, Letecia put forward every and any different story. And when I say the most bizarre stories you would ever imagine, I'm talking about there's a pregnant woman who's not really pregnant. Her belly is filled with cash type stories. And I actually have another child from a drug lord type story. I was RAPED'd and Gannon was taken, down to asking people to make false police statements. And here's the most there's so much heartbreaking parts, but here's one of the more horrific parts. When we go through all these pretext calls, every version she gives to Al, who Al's his dad, where's my son? His room is filled with blood. You're the last person to see him. You have done nothing but lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. And she's all over social media. I have all of those social media posts. I will show you guys them all. Putting out the most strange stories, creating false, fake accounts, going into Facebook groups, pushing out a narrative. They knew. They ended up arresting Letecia before they found Gannon's body. They were moving forward before they even had a body. That's how much evidence they had. And by the grace of God, divine intervention, 2 weeks after 2 weeks after Letecia was finally arrested, March 2nd, and this was January 20th. Okay, January. His body happened to be found just 2 weeks after. And it was divine intervention because she threw that suitcase that, again, decomposition is not friendly. January to March, January to March, in the Florida sun, underneath a bridge. It was only because a bridge maintenance worker was doing an inspection. They do these inspections once every 5 years. And thank you, Lisa. Letecia's a humongous demon. Wild beast, RIP, sweet Gannon. Yes, thank you. Once every 5 years. And it just so happened this bridge inspector came to the bridge that day. And he happened to see that suitcase, and it caught his eye. Now listen, they find many things underneath bridges. He didn't touch it. They went about their day, him and another worker. And then at the end of that work day, something just said, check it. So he did. They didn't smell anything. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. He unzipped that suitcase, and a foot with the little sock came out. And that's when the smell hit. And that's when they called it in. And authorities got there. Yeah, his little football sock. And they opened up that suitcase, and remember that pillow, that blanket, those sheets I spoke to you guys about earlier, and I'm about to show you right now, along with Gannon's body, so severely decomposed, okay? So severely decomposed, yet you could still tell it's him. And anybody who's seen the photos will know what I mean by that. And I don't suggest it for anybody who can't. But it was divine intervention, because once every 5 years. And you want to know what's so eerie too about it? Another thing Letecia did that I'll show you guys is she made a series of bizarre Google searches. She used Google as a form of a diary. She did not submit things into Google that you and I would normally submit into Google. She would, and I'll show you that, but she would log things essentially, if that makes sense. Now, right before she got arrested, and thank you, Lisa. Lisa gifted a membership. Please make sure you thank Lisa if you got that. Letecia, who is a dumb person, right before she was arrested, just so happened to Google search maintenance checks under bridges, which I'll be honest, I didn't even think of that as a thing. It would never cross my mind. Yet Letecia did think of it. And that would be how he was found, just 2 weeks after she was arrested. And so she found out when she was in jail. She Googled things: full facial transplant near me. You know, the way that you Google like a Chinese restaurant near me. Full facial transplant near me. So if you're new to this case, please buckle up, because when I'm not being dramatic when I say this is the most wild ride you're probably going to go on. It is that deep and it is that crazy. And there's a reason why we were able to go over a year straight, every day of Letecia content. And guess what? Never 2 days were the same. It's the best way I could explain it. Never of those 2 days Were we replaying the same interview, replaying the same things? It was every fucking day. Here's the next one. Here's the next thing. Here's the next. Like, it's insane. No, I believe it's 5 years, unless they change something, Rainy Rain, because I remember the number 5 on. Please, and if someone knows, hey, no, it was actually this. I could pull up the medical exam. I'm sorry, not the medical examiner. I could pull up the bridge guy who was the witness during trial. I remember 5. It was 2. Oh shit. Okay. I swear. See, Anit saying it was 5. It's 5 last. I swear it was 5 because it was more than I expected. Like, because 2 years. See, no, well, I'll go back and I'll check because the reason I say 5 is because not saying 2 years isn't long, but I remember it hit me when I was like, holy shit, like 5 years. Like, yeah, 4 or 5, I remember. I could be wrong. Let me go back and double check that. And thank you, Shay. Like, please make sure you thank Shay if you got a membership. That was very sweet of her. Show Shay some love. I don't know why I always set myself up for failure when I say that sentence, but show Shay some love if you got a membership. I don't know for kits and shiggles. I will know. I will double check because I don't want to say something that isn't accurate. Okay, see, Natasha remembers 2 years. I could be wrong. Not to see it. Yeah, she just sent me at regular intervals not to exceed 2 years. All right, well, then that would make more sense. But what we'll do is yeah, Lisa, Natasha just sent me that too. So maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I apologize about that. But the reason I say it is because, again, I remember when I heard it, I was like, wow, like this could have been years later. And I don't think I would have felt that way at 2, but maybe. But it's very easy to just go back to the bridge inspector on the stand and he'll say it very early on. So now I'm going to pull up Goodnight, Stacy. I know, right, Emily? Yet you learn something new every time. Yeah. Either way, 2 or 5, they found him. The timing, guys. Let's just say it's 2, right? The bridge inspection could have just been done, and then it would have been another 2 years. It was 2 weeks, like, after they happened to finally arrest her. He was found. And just so happened that bridge guy said, all right, he went all day. He eyed that suitcase in the morning, and he's like, yeah, let's do our work. And at the end of the day, something was like, check it. What's in there? It was divine intervention. So I'm going to pull up photos right now. I want to give a trigger warning. This is Gannon the morning of the murders. He is alive, okay? But he has sustained some type of injury. We still, to this day, don't know what. Because the night before, again, there was that candle incident. We don't know exactly what happened, but we do know that you're going to see this candle incident in the photos, and it's covering up blood. So all we know is that Gannon was bleeding at some point Sunday night. Letecia drugged Gannon also. Hydrocodone was in his system. That hydrocodone was prescribed to his dad for an injury to his finger. All we know is that it was given to him within 24 hours of his death. We know that Gannon was burned because in this last video of Gannon, aside from the ring camera footage, he's crying. And he says, I'm just worried about my burns. Letecia admits he has burns. But again, we're dealing with a liar. So it's hard to figure out what exactly happened. It is unclear if she had given Gannon the hydrocodone at this point, or it was later, I believe it was already in his system. But my point is that this is 8 something. They're 2 photos, even though you won't see much of a difference, but they're 5 minutes between each other. 5 minutes is a long time to actually be standing over someone while they're sleeping. And I want you to let that sink in, that she stood over him and took these photos, and he is out. A combination of injuries, a combination of being drugged, and also sleeping in a freezing basement because she had opened Colorado in January. She had opened all the windows to air out the smoke from this candle incident. Okay. Everyone else slept upstairs, but she made Gannon sleep downstairs. So it was freezing on top of it. He does not look good in these photos. So I just want you to have that warning. But he is alive. We know he was alive at this point. So, and I told you everything I said and explained, there is photos, there's something that backs it up. So these are going to be the photos I was explaining to you earlier. So this is a side-by-side right here, and I'm about to pull them up, just warning. This is a side-by-side of what Gannon's bed looked like the morning of Monday compared to the right, which is a still shot I took from that body cam footage we just watched. As you can see on the left, you have Gannon laying in bed. Okay. You see his face there. You see his arm here with his hand. He has shark sheets. He has 2 pillows, that navy blue pillowcase. And you see this blanket. It's actually a blue blanket that matches that pillowcase. And then this throw blanket on top, okay? Compared to what his bed looked like later on that day. There's a pillow missing. The sheets are changed. That whole comforter is gone. And this throw blanket, which is completely different. She took the first photo of Gannon at about like 8:11 a.m. Okay. And she took another photo of him. And it's basically the same photo. I think it'll come up. But it's just slightly like Letecia's in a different position. But what's haunting to think about is we know that in a few hours from here, she would be brutally murdering Gannon. Like I said, 5 minutes is a long time to just stand over someone who's sleeping. And I don't think he's just sleeping. I think he is out. He has sustained injuries. He is drugged. What was she thinking for those 5 minutes? And we know because they're digitally stamped when the photos were taken. So 5 minutes she stayed there and looked at him. Was she contemplating in that moment? What was she going to do? I don't think in between the time frigates and chiggles, but we can confirm that by going back over. That's a good question. We'll look when we look at the Google searches. We will. So what is that down by his feet? That's a great question, Lenora. And that's been a big topic of debate. And that's a lot of people thought it might be a suitcase. So what I actually think it is a wedge pillow. And the reason I think that is based off of, again, this infamous last video of Gannon that I keep telling you guys about, which I can show you, but it's very rough and it's very triggering. It's short, but it's very heartbreaking. In that video, Letecia starts taking it in her bedroom, and Lena is in her bed at that time. And you can see Lena is on a wedge pillow. So it's, very thin on one end and inclined. I think that may be a wedge pillow. And I think she may have elevated his feet. Again, he had injuries. We don't know what injuries he had. We just know he was bleeding. He was burned by Letecia's own admission. We don't know what was underneath there. Just Patreon, Justin. Like, I have a TikTok. I just don't utilize it. I guess I'll wait to see if TikTok is even going to be around next week. So, yes, he looked very pale. And that's why earlier when I said little leaks, right? When they asked what did Gannon look like, her brain is going to pop up the last image. And when we get into the Grusing interview, you're going to see how much she fights that last image. She cannot answer his question of what was Gannon doing the last time you saw him. She cannot answer it because the image of her murdering him and putting him in that suitcase will always be what her brain answers. Here is that infamous candle incident. Here is a photo of it. Remember when Letecia lifted the carpet and showed the officers I don't want you stepping on the box cutter? Here are the photos Letecia took. Can you notice anything wrong? Can you notice anything wrong with the photo? Yeah, I am shining. It's a white candle. Is that how you expect to see white candle wax on the floor? Is that what you would anticipate it to look like? Also, it's severely burned. We're supposed to believe this candle was burning, accumulated enough wax, and then it got knocked over. And you haven't heard her describe this yet, but she will. But by Letecia's own admission, a fire started. And there's even soot and burns. Okay, so we do know there was some type of fire. Except here's the problem. One, the fucking carpet is fire retardant. It's not going to catch fire like that. Fire expert testified on stand. Number 2, when a candle knocks over, you know damn well that wick goes out immediately. The first moment that wax hits, that melted wax hits the wick, it goes out. But we're supposed to believe this candle knocked over and then somehow that flame managed to stay lit and then get to the carpet. And the fire expert testified the only way to get these burns right here is if an extremely high heat of flame was being held to it for an extended period of time. And it still wouldn't catch fire. It would just burn. And also, it's a white candle. Where's the white wax? Another issue you're going to see in future lives. Letecia claims because they found blood. In the future, they will find blood. Letecia claims the candle broke, Gannon stepped on the glass, and so he was trailing blood through the house. The candle's right here. They recovered the candle too. It's not broken. But this is the infamous candle incident that happened Sunday evening. Again, the murder was Monday. And it's covering up blood. What happened Sunday evening? Was she trying to stage a fire? Did she injure him and then pour wax over and make it look a certain way? I think you guys probably should watch the candle video before we go. If you guys want to see it, but it's a huge piece to this puzzle that we don't have the answers for. Something happened Sunday night. Did she injure him more than she intended? And then she turned around and was like, I just have to take his life the next day. Was she trying to light the house on fire and then it didn't go right and Gannon woke up? Did she drug him before? Because again, that hydrocodone was in his system at least 24 hours, within 24 hours of his death. Here it is. So here is that couch. Here is this candle. These blankets did have soot marks on them. So there was some type of flame. Where was the candle that even Gannon knocked over? And guess what? The family testified Gannon would never light a candle on his own. But to Letecia's narrative, good night, Andy. He lit this candle and then he was punished, and I was coming down and he thought I was going to catch him on his switch, and he knocked it over and this fire started. Hi, Faceted Dreamer. You can see the blood underneath it. And this spot was tested eventually. And it did come positive for blood. Yes, she did. Not a Wade wife, yes. You could see it's even marked on the couch. Okay? But this candle managed to knock over and burn and this and that. That doesn't look like wax to me. And then this is that photo again. Okay? We don't know. He does not look good. He doesn't look good. So when she says white, he's pale, white, pale, pale. Yeah, he was the last time you saw him. And this was before you stabbed him 17 times. Blunt force trauma with some object we still don't know. And then shot him. Overkill is an understatement. Hi, Turtle Dove. So there's that close-up image. You could see. What's that? I'm sorry, I was getting the candle video up and ready if you guys want to watch it. Here's a more zoomed out. Okay. Well, he was up during that time, Lenora, because after these photos, that was around 8:10 in the morning. About 2 hours later, we see CCTV footage. And it's Letecia getting into her Tiguan. And then we see Gannon. And it's the last footage we will see of Gannon alive. So he's walking very sluggish to the car. It seems like he dropped something, but he cannot bend down to pick it up. He's like cradling his stomach. As best as you can see on like Ring doorbell footage. And he gets into the Tiguan. And they drive for 4 hours. They stop at Petco twice. What she was planning on doing during those 4 hours, we'll get into that more with the pretext calls. But her and Gannon came back about 2:20 p.m. As soon as Gannon walks in, he goes straight down to his room, and within minutes, she attacks him and brutally murders him. And then Gannon's younger sister, Lena, shows up home from the school bus, not even 45 minutes later. Letecia doesn't let her inside. She says, go ride the bike. And so you'll see Lena on the Ring doorbell footage, riding up and down with Gannon's bike until Harley arrives home from work. And Letecia sends Harley with Lena, go out to the Dollar Tree and get me these items. What items do you think it is? Cleaning items. And they come back shortly after. And that is when the events start to take place of, where's Gannon? He went out with his friends. He was supposed to be home by 6. He's not home. Let's call Al. In turn, call the police. And all that body cam we just watched. That is how quickly the murder occurred, and then the cleanup occurred. Okay? Thank you, the boss lady. Welcome. We're happy to have you here. So again, here's our side-by-side. Yes, Cosmo. Okay. So now I'm going to show you guys the candle incident. And then we'll pick up from here for the next live stream. But just prepare. Just prepare, because it's a lot. I'd have to go back and confirm how long they were gone. I am Shiny Popstar, but it wasn't long. It wasn't long at all. I think maybe, God, she said maybe 30 something minutes, if I'm remembering correctly. It wasn't long at all, because it was just to the Dollar Tree picking up those items, picked up a little candy for her. And yes, exactly. Yes, I am Shiny Popstar. Just trigger warning. Okay. This is the last. I think I'm trigger warning myself, because this is always a really difficult video. You're not going to see anything after the first few seconds. Let me just explain what you see so I don't have to pause. The video is going to start, and Letecia is in her bedroom, which is again on the main floor. She did go to school. Lena went to school. Gannon didn't go to school. Lena didn't go to school the next day. But Lena went to school on Monday, yes. It was only Letecia and Gannon home. Harley was at work. The video is going to start with Letecia in her bedroom on the main floor. She flips on the light. She's going to pan to the left. The TV is on. You're going to hear that in the background. Lena, which is Gannon's younger sister, is laying in Letecia's bed. Now, we're going to get a lot more context to why was Lena in her bed, what happened. We're going to get into that, because there's a lot of reasons why. But you're going to hear Lena. I think Lena asked, what are you doing? I don't remember. Lena asked something. But you're going to watch Letecia walk through the house. Now, you just got a layout of the house, okay? So she walks out of her bedroom. She starts this recording, and she flips around and walks downstairs. Downstairs is, again, where Gannon's room is, but it's pitch dark. It's pitch dark. You cannot see anything, so you're going to just have to listen. This is the video Letecia takes after the candle incident. Whatever truly happened, we don't know, but she took this video to document it. And Gannon is crying. You have to realize, okay, so he's down there in the pitch dark crying on his own when you're starting this video, yes. And she goes down and she's like, all right, just tell me one more time, Gannon, like what, like you didn't do this on purpose, right? I didn't, I swear. And she's going through the scenarios of, we're going to have to figure out, there's a lot of damage. We don't want to get kicked out. This is a rental. We're going to have to think of things to sell. And Gannon is crying. And you'll hear him say, I'm just worried about my burns. Because he was injured. And by her admission, he had burns on his arms. And then right at the end, you'll hear, I'm bleeding. No, not at this point, not a Wade wife. Not at this point. He's downstairs at this point, and you're going to watch her walk downstairs. Okay? So here we go. Just trigger warning. It's heavy. It's very heavy. And this murder was not quick. He was tortured. Injuries started by Letecia's own admission Saturday. Then Sunday. And then Monday, when he was ultimately murdered. And remember that wedge pillow? You're going to see it in this video.
Just don't know what to do.
See it? That is what I think was under Gannon. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Why did she record this? I think she made the decision that she's going to kill him right after this. And she recorded to try to document. The candle incident did not go down the way she's saying it went down. We know that. I think she was documenting it to try to confirm and have proof of her lie. Okay? This is what I think was underneath Gannon in those photos that I showed you. And yes, the video starts. She's in Letecia's room. Lena's in Letecia's bed. Again, we'll get more context behind that at the next live. But she starts it by saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. And Lena says, what happened? And then she's going to walk through the house and walk downstairs.
Two, I just don't know what to do.
Oh, crap. Hold on.
Two, I just don't know what to do.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott, I can't lie.
She's walking through the house.
Gannon, I promise it's the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaking out.
Oh, you know
okay?
what? I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. He probably was in Lena's room. You're right. He probably was. I'm going to go back to that layout. But he probably was in Lena's room at this point. Either way, you could see it's pitch dark.
Gannon, I promise it's
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott, I can't lie when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise it's the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? Okay, we promise. You promise. Pinky promise. Okay, all right. So listen. We're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it. Okay. So we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we gotta get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay. You got it? You got it?
I'm just worried about my
Okay, shh. Listen. So tomorrow,
That cut off. I hope. Crap. That doesn't have the ending to it. I'm going to have to find the other one. But this is his bedroom to the left. The exact spot this bed is in. That wasn't the full video. I'll get the full video. But you see when I said they pulled back the carpet, you see that blood that is soaked through the carpet down to the cement? And you see all those markings on the wall? You'll see a photo once it's illuminated. all those markings are blood spatter in different directions. Okay? That's Gannon and Lena. All right, well, I don't want to go into all this. Hold on. Let me just try to find. Are you sure, Nancy? Okay, here. I'm going to play it from Plunders. Yeah, and see, this is from the trial on bleeding video. You see? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. And thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Please make sure you thank Lisa if you got that. Thank you so much. Okay, hold on.
2020, the night before Gannon video, about what may have happened to Gannon. She even uploaded this disturbing video Sunday, January 26th, 2020. The night before Gannon disappeared, Letecia claimed he just walked away from the home and went to see some friend, but she couldn't name the friend. But it was a disturbing, distressing video where Gannon sounds like he's literally in pain. You can't see him. She must have intentionally hurt. Believe her as of hot whack punishment did.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott can't lie when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise it's the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? He did it. Okay, we promise. He promised. On purpose. Pinky promise. Okay, all right, so listen. We're going to have to sell stuff to fix it, okay? So we figure out what we got to sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we got to get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay? You got it?
We don't know what really happened prior to Letecia.
It's the last time we hear Gannon. Letecia will never she loves knowing and everyone not knowing. And she loves having that power over Al and Landon. Landon is Gannon's bio mom. Because she likes to taunt with it. And so we'll never know what exactly happened with that candle. But I can tell you this, when you start to hear the pretext calls and you start to hear the lies, if the lies are that bad, how much worse is the truth? She's still around, Sharon. Yeah, she's still around. Gannon, it was not a quick death. He was actively bleeding since Saturday by Letecia's own admission. First, it was cut on the foot Saturday, then burns on Sunday, and then murders on Monday. Yeah, he fought on his way in and he fought on his way out. It was a very static event, meaning the blood spatter was in all different directions, and at least 2 of them occurred on the floor. So 17 stab wounds, blunt force traumas, and a gunshot through the jaw. And he fought. He did not stay in one spot. He was moving. And you have to wonder how that big pile of blood got under the bed. Well, he may have been on the bed at some point and then slid between. Sorry, it throws me off. She shot him. She did, Justin. 17 stab wounds, multiple blunt force trauma, and shot through the jaw. But here's the problem. He was so severely decomposed by the time they recovered his body. They can't tell you the exact order things happened. They could make their best guess, but we'll never know exactly. And I want to show you this. And you're going to say, hey, what's this? And yes, we're going to get it. We're going to get more into this. But what you're looking at on the screen here is actually the murder. What do you mean that's the murder? This is the murder in the body motion, the movement that's picked up inside the house. They had motion detectors. What you're seeing is the murder occurring through motion detectors. So you're going to see from the moment that, like I said, they left at, 18 stab wounds. Thank you, Natasha. Yes, 18, not 17. From the moment that they returned home, and like I said, Gannon went straight downstairs, well, you could see it from the motion detectors. And you see Letecia following him, and you see her going down, and you see dual movement. 2 people. And then you see one movement. Up, down, closed door, open door, closed door, open door. And so we'll look at this more in another live, but you could see living room motion detector, basement motion detector, living room motion detector with all of the times. Everything is time stamped. And she started going bam, 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 like she was jumping all over. And so, yes, it's coded in a way where it's through the motion, but this is literally essentially just, it's the murder through motion. And here's the kicker. Letecia sent this out herself. So just wait till we get into all those social media posts, because Letecia herself sent this out because she loved to talk. She loved to push out lies, and that would ultimately be what really, really buried her. So, yeah. Thank you, Nikki. Hi, Kimmy C. So, again, I apologize because this is probably this case, I've gone deeper into this case than I probably have ever gone into any case before, like deep. And it gets a little overwhelming for me to try to figure out where to even start for somebody who hasn't followed this. I feel like I have too much information. It's too much and I don't really know where to go. So I apologize and I'm doing my best. And so just please ask questions along the way or tell me, hey, it would be easier if you do this. I feel like I would understand it better. But the only thing I could keep saying is please prepare if you're going along for this ride, because it is going to be insane. It's going to be insane. And everything is so documented on social media. You're going to see everything play out, like everything. And it was her behavior. Yes, Joe. And it's her behavior after the murders and what she did to these parents. She taunted them with where Gannon was and what happened to Gannon and held it over their head. And it's the most brutal thing you'll ever see, ever. I did see that I Am Shiny Pop Star and how it's actually him now. She identifies as a transgender boy now, which go on, do your thing. I don't care. What I care about is that you tried to murder your friend for Slender Man. Don't even tell me you're being sweet. Thank you. But all right, guys. So we're going to continue on. I think for the next live, oh gosh, I'm going to try to go in chronological order as best as I can. I don't know if I'm going to go through and play Al's whole interview and Landon's whole interview again, versus I'll just kind of tell you what happened in it, and I'll refer you back to like a previous live stream I've done on it if you want to watch it all. But then I want to get into the pretext calls and the interviews. You have to see that main interview with Bethel and Letecia. It's just a necessity. And then the Google searches and the social media, everything as it unfolded. So, and thank you, Lithium. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Harlot, it's crazy. Me neither, Toe Beans. I was wrong too, Neat Noodle. So thank you for everyone who corrected me. It was not 5 years. It was every 2 years. I swear it was 5, but I'm wrong. I am wrong. Thank you so much for the correction and taking that time to go and verify that for me. So every 2 years, they do the maintenance checks under the bridge, not 5. I know, Hannah, it's crazy. Yep. God, there's so much. There's just so much. Maybe I'll try to make bullet points so I remember to touch upon all, because there's so much. But all right, guys, thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Oh my God. First of all, hold on, before we leave, please don't ever hesitate to correct me. I would rather, it's not about me being right versus it being accurate. So anytime you hear me say something that it's like, hey, it's not right, I understand you're not attacking me. I don't take it as attack versus let's get it right. And I want to do that also for Gannon. This is his story, not mine. And so I'm not offended to be corrected. Please do correct me. And thank you for everyone for that correction. Seriously. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. The pretext trial after body. Yes, exactly. Sorry, I had to rewrite that. Okay, Natasha. So yes, we will stop, drop, and roll our way out of here. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all have an amazing night, and I will see you all tomorrow.
For the interviews, because I don't have any fancy clothes.
Go to my closet, you take whatever you need. Okay, Brennan, you guys got to look sharp. It's the most important day of our lives, okay?
Okay, Dad.
What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Hit top, rollie, boy, we know you phony. Take her to the mall and buy her what she wanted. Already smashed, so I'ma let the homie. RP my cash and RP a Kobe. If you're born in September, then you know you're my type. If I see you on Tinder, then I gotta swipe right. If you're born in October, then you're just like me. Here's a resume, can you fill this out, please? What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll.